so busy, I have a project that I might be doing, or might need you to do. Oh yeah? I want to put a moon gate at the entrance to the house.
Will you be doing this most of the day?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Brought it up from the southeast. Talk about Florida, Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, and those areas. They've got they're heat resistant. They are parasite resistant. Great mothers. You can use the wool. You know, they used everything back then. You could eat them. You could milk them. But these are just awesome animals, and this is a critically rare breed. So I think they fit right in with Halifax. Oh, okay, all right. He hasn't had a lot. He's had some people hold him, but when you have like 30 lambs running around, it's kind of hard to tame them all. After this, they're going to a new pasture. It's all grown up, beautiful, and I'm kind of excited for them.
That was my life for a long, long time. And I'm from Prince George's County in Maryland. Yeah. So yeah.
I don't need to worry about you doing any audio crap. This thing is so quick.
Because we live in a different type of tent, but you lived in a tent, and the kids grew up doing this stuff, and but it was no different than any other. At nighttime, they bring out their marshmallows and s'mores, and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, it's not.
And then I started doing. A friend of mine got me involved at the Y Mill.
I think somebody said turn on that.
And but I started as things were changing. I'm like, this is just not the way it needs to be. I remember I got a text message from a young lady that I taught in 6th grade, and she was a piece of work. And but I knew she would be a teacher if she could stay out of trouble. And she ended up going to Morgan State and graduated.
Hello, how are you?
Hey. She's a great teacher, and she texts me one day and goes, Mr. House, these 5th grade girls are going to drive me up a wall. Can you help me? And the first thing I wanted to do was say, karma. But yeah, it was kind of. Have a good day. Nice to meet you.
Okay.
river, we probably have a little bit better access to citrus than other places do. So punch is actually going to be charged per quart. And we're going to serve it to you out into punch cups. For all of those additional services, we can charge you extra. Also, we can charge you extra for stabling your horse. So if you bring your horse in, we're going to charge you to stable it. And you can also see we have 2 different rates depending on whether you want it to be fed with grass on the common or with hay, just in its stall.
Like parking lots of today.
Now we charge different rates.
That river was the biggest drawing card to this place, wasn't it?
It really was.
On the watery highway.
You need more water?
We can talk now. I'm on it.
It's not like,
Yeah. So it's pro. One thing that I discovered was
really surrendered.
That's right. That's right. Y'all went down to Charleston.
Yeah. Most of the Southern companies in '64, it's like they were basically guarding the King's hide in the Southern battle.
What was the? I know it had to be a bit of probably culture shock and climate shock, wasn't it back then, or were the
Well, again, this
per se?
Well, actually, my family were loyalists and actually ended up getting
Really?
evacuated to Halifax.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Horizontal. Okay. Well, I don't know if it's 4K. It'll take a bit to load. That's your angle. No, this is just musket firing.
Okay.
The cannon's there, but the musket's firing. You're gonna get that today, probably.
Okay. But all of that, Rich, would be great if you'd send that today. Appreciate it.
Now I'll eat black eye.
My hobby when I was a kid turned into a career fascination as well.
That's great. That's fantastic.
Hey, folks.
So you don't mind playing a
Americans today have them in their minds as these, bad guys.
Sure,
And,
yeah.
Nobody's a bad guy in their own mind. So it's interesting to try to bring people into a conversation about historical
Humans just like you are.
Absolutely. And had they won, we would have had a completely different, national history. But
And we'd be playing lots more cricket. Jackie Robinson just brought tears.
oh yeah,
Well, thank you.
yeah, you're well. Thanks for stopping by and chatting.
Yes, sir. Huzzah.
That's right.
See, I know what you are.
Folks, if I can do anything for you, just let me know.
looks like it's going to be pretty much so wrong.
Damn, it went out.
Of course it did.
I'll have to check the tap room and see if he's in there.
All right. Actually got off a blanket. A guy in Massachusetts makes it.
Yeah, true.
Yep. Your phone stalls are in there. People jumping in the probably you're on the side.
Indian reservations, all the range.
All you do is stop vent, you 10 vent, one.
You're welcome. If you come over here, stand over here. Sit over here with Rich. Try not to have.
Anybody else want to help us real quick?
You don't have to be at attention. Just be at ease and just help people out.
Did Halifax have a newspaper or something?
It did, yeah. Well, the newspaper comes out a little later. It's more like 1790s is when we get a paper.
Okay.
The only paper in North Carolina was out of New Bern. Well, no, I'm incorrect. There was also one in Wilmington by the time of the American Revolution.
Yeah.
So they both had printing presses and papers.
If I'm doing both, I usually
Printing press in there from
Yeah, that's like a mid-1890s.
What if they had a press conference standing around the press?
I don't know.
Did you guys get? We had the printing press open today, by the way. And we got a professional, not professional, but an expert printer in there. It's been doing a really good job, making some really cool prints with it.
I saw the Owens has to go open. Is Salad Billy open?
Salad Billy's not open. Owens is open, and we have a medical display in there.
He had a crowd a little bit ago.
That's good.
He's got a bunch of people in there.
That's real good.
Okay.
give it a good twirl and get most of that out. We're ready. All right. You can do the interpret. All right. We'll let you do the interpret first time.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming out to historic Halifax today.
10 bit.
We're about to do an artillery demonstration.
Search piece.
Just so you know, it's going to be a little bit loud. So you might think about if you're wearing a hearing aid. What's that?
That's what the
Sponge.
Liar.
Yeah. You might think about, I've had many demonstrations. So anyway, though, you might think about if you're wearing a hearing aid, turning it down a little bit. If you have small children, covering their ears. And I'll leave it up to you
10 bit.
whether to cover your ears or not. And we're all
safe.
Handle sponge.
Here in the road, that's
Sponge piece.
the artillery that they're using today.
Advanced
Silver
cartridge.
guns are the smallest form of
Handle cartridge.
artillery that's used
Charge
during
cartridge.
that time period. They're an anti-personnel weapon, and they were often used on the gunnels of ships and boats. They're also used
Ram down
on
cartridge.
the walls of forts, also as anti-personnel weapons. They can fire solid, half-pound,
Prime.
half-pound iron ball. They can also fire grape shot, which is small pellets that will scatter when you fire. These guns are accurate up to about 200 yards. So despite their small size, they will provide far range when firing. We're ready.
Fire in the hole! Fire! Search piece. 10 vent.
Right now they're in the process for reloading.
Yep, I showed.
He's using a device called a worm.
I think it blurred. Yeah. I was like, oh, in my ears.
Artillery to make sure that there's no gleaming pieces of the cartridge inside of it. And that's very important because you wouldn't want to introduce new black powder to the silver gun without first cleaning it out. You'll see that the gentleman on the right is covering the touch hole with what we call thumb vent, and they're going to be using a sponge, and they're going to be basically pushing all the air out of the chamber of the silver gun. That creates a vacuum, and it makes an environment that the fire can't breathe. And that's another precaution that we do for helping to make sure that the artillery is safe before we use the new cartridge.
Ready for another one?
Yeah, let's do another one.
I think they were good.
That was a nice sound. We're gonna fire another round, ladies and gentlemen. So, you know what the last round sounded like. I might think about
In
covering
bit.
your ears if you like.
Handle cartridge. Advanced cartridge. Charge cartridge.
So you just put cartridge, which is in this case usually
Prime.
a bag with a measured amount of black powder. It's putting black powder on the vent of the artillery. It's called priming. The next thing he has to do is introduce fire to the vent, and that will fire the artillery.
Fire in the hole! Ceasefire. Search piece.
Again, they're clearing the piece to make sure that there's no burning embers inside the artillery. Artillery was used here at Halifax. The Battle of Halifax in 1841. American side and the British both had
Sponge
cannons on
piece.
their side. The Americans had a redoubt on the north side of the Roanoke River. They had artillery.
Third implement.
The British advanced their ranks through Halifax after they took the town over in 1666. Tarleton, who was the commander of the British mounted force that led the attack on Halifax, talks about how
Because they had sailors.
Any questions?
Would it, like, would it be lower because the
All right. So again, this is what would be called a swivel or rail gun. Usually you see these on ships, literally on the way. And they could fire a solid shot or a piece, 3-pounders, 6-pounders, 12-pounders, 24s, like wouldn't matter. They'd all be the same. They'd all be loaded, same crew.
So you talk about how these were typically on like boats or at ports. Did any exist kind of like that they would just take out, or?
All right, where's Mo at?
Yeah,
You know, like to a battle in the field and not
Yeah, I mean, you could have a stand like this, or you could actually put them on wheels and wheel along, and basically place them on other flanks of your companies, and they basically again this could serve as a dozen men.
Yeah.
Firing forward. So
all of my knowledge comes from most likely inaccurate movies, which only have like big cannons on wheels. So I was just curious.
Yeah, especially with British regiments, usually usually with guns small, larger than this, usually like a 3-pounder, but they would normally be anchored on either right and left flanks. Machine gunners, they're basically holding down, keeping their heads down, and like
you was at the UTA at Jamestown.
or it could be on the textbook. Push forward. You can really pretty much like handle this by yourself. A gun like this.
You still don't want to shoot it from the hip.
But yeah, you would not. Yeah, you would. Yeah. Last Mohicans with the double vests, like even that you wouldn't want to do. But yeah, definitely on a gun like that you would not do that.
Would they need a stand to operate it?
A stand or be on a carousel just like a regular artillery piece.
Would they use a horse, or would they carry it?
Well, a gun this size normally it would be manually carried along by the men themselves, or even like the larger guns. If you look, they usually have ropes, and if you're going forward with the infantry.
Yeah, being that. Yeah, it's not far from where I live at.
Yeah.
It's real close to where my parents live.
I like the town of
See, I taught at J. Sergeant Reynolds in the
we were going to
officer
go
program downtown.
out that way these days, we'd probably go over to
I passed that location.
because there's cool things. You can go to Wallops Island. I mean, they've got a nice museum there inside the NASA facility.
Yeah, I used to do stuff. I was out at Fort Harrison in 98 New York. I was with Clemens Schwartzberg.
Yeah,
all the chaos that
Is Clemens still alive?
He still is, yeah. I saw him like right before all this COVID stuff came in and who was going on.
we get down there and nobody in the park.
I mean, we had a company street. We had a log cabin, and then we had the bower with
but the water's still
either
fine.
Tim was
That
there,
time,
and then the
I can't
officer
remember.
had
There's some
I was
stupid
the
pizza
lieutenant.
joint
We had
in Delaware.
a
The only
big
place you
platform.
could get it was at
That was on that. And
was that
I was out there. Somebody that had been out there, and they didn't even know the camp had ever been there.
Yeah.
And while I was there, they had the Confederate
We live in
Bowie,
Maryland.
We went out there one Sunday, and it was on the ground. Somebody had
My
tried
wife
to
at the
steal
time,
it.
she was still in service, so she was stationed.
Yeah.
Over Air Base.
Yeah, I remember I worked for about 3 years.
Okay. Yeah, it was I've been
Best thing there is.
New guy brought up things like I gave my musket. I used to check out Bill's. Shook hands, Sergeant.
Yeah.
It's like it fired flawless. Go to your fire lock, went through the entire park block, go to your fire lock, I'm gonna it's like raise your hand if you brought cartridges.
Hey guys, raise your hand if you brought cartridges. Keep it up. I'm gonna look in your cartridge box and check it out. I'm gonna come down behind you.
Well, he's got cartridges.
What they're doing is just inspecting the arms to make sure that the
Let him.
You got to remember a flintlock. The ignition system is a piece of flint that hits a piece of hardened steel, and that causes a spark. The spark goes into a pan, ignites the powder in the pan, and there's a touch hole next to it's by the barrel of the pan. Then that flame goes into the barrel and sets off the main charge. You ever hear the term, he was just a flash in the pan? Meaning that powder in the pan went off, but the main charge didn't go off. The problem was, if it rained, it was next to impossible to fire these muskets. Of course, the British Army, they were the best trained bayonet men in the world. And once you would go in for the final charge, you would just charge bayonets, and at the Battle of Long Island there were American riflemen being pinned to trees with Hessian and British bayonets. And so what they were doing with this, because we're going to be firing opposite sides, we want to make sure there's nothing in the barrel that would cause any damage. So that's why they're at half cock. You can pull the trigger all day long. It's like a safety. It has to come all the way back for the full cock. I'm sure you've heard the term "don't go off half cock." Well, that's where it comes from. And so basically, we have some British regulars on. So then you have the Virginia line. Is the other half of that group.
What is this thing here? It's a necklace.
As an officer, when I'm on duty, there are three things that I'm carrying. I'm carrying my sword, my sash, and this is called a gorget. It has the king's arms on it. And it's a holdover from the days of armor, because when the Knight wore armor, you had his helmet, you had his breastplate, and there was a crescent-shaped piece of metal that went up and covered his throat. Of course, this is purely ornamental. It doesn't do anything other than give an American rifleman a bright, shiny thing to aim at. And you've got to remember that the American Army had British tradition, and so you had a lot of American officers who were also wearing the gorget. Now, in the early part of the war, the officers... Okay, so let's shoot him first. So the British officers stopped carrying them, where the American Army picked them up. Of course, the British weren't using rifles. In the American Army, you had riflemen, and you had your regular Continental line using muskets. You can load and fire a smoothbore musket about 3 times a minute. Riflemen, and so their bullet, instead of going maybe 100 yards and not hitting anything, a rifleman, these guys could take targets out about 250, 300 yards. However, it took about 3 minutes to load a rifle because you had to catch the ball, and you basically had to force it down to the breech. And so at the Battle of Long Island, what Washington did, he had the riflemen in the line, but they weren't supported by regular musket men. And so the British realized that once they fire, they're vulnerable for about 3 minutes, and that's when they make the attack. And Washington realized that what I have to do, we can use the riflemen, but we've got to have regular smoothbore muskets on either side to protect them while they're loading. And so it was one of those things that European wars, if an officer got shot purely by accident, because the officers were a different class than what the enlisted men were. In the British Army, if you're an enlisted man, that probably meant that that's the only job you could get. Where an officer, it was a whole different range. And I would have, and so the problem was that the person that was buying this rank had money, but it may not have been a very good, a good soldier. And so this idea of going to like a military school doesn't start until after the Revolution, because being an officer, you were considered up here. Everybody else was down there. And I am portraying Lord Cornwallis. I would have a lot more people than just 4, but Lord Cornwallis is quite a character. He came over when the armies were still around Boston, and he was working out of New York with Howe and Clinton, and which you find up in New England. That's where all the radicals were, up in the Massachusetts malcontents. And you got to remember there were 3 groups in the American Revolution that were fighting. You had the Patriots, which supported independence. You had the Loyalists that supported. Those are 3 colonies, and we have naval stores, we have indigo, we have all types of natural products that we need, and they'll stay in the empire, and this new United States will be Virginia North. And so he sent down there, they captured Charleston, and it's kind of interesting to read about Marion. He had gone to a party in Charleston right before the siege started. And Lincoln, who was the American general, said, we kept the front door. So he went upstairs, jumped out the 2nd-story window, and in doing that, he sprained his ankle very bad. So he went back to his plantation, which was not the color he used.
There were some white. Brown, orange. So then the decorations were, and all that, the purpose of all that, though, just canvas.
Baggy,
But you talk about
and then Green watches him leave, and he comes back across.
Very cool.
And they're kind of
Are you from around here?
I live up in Richmond.
watching each
Okay.
other. There's not a whole lot of
How to cut it so it fits properly. And same thing with the knee breeches and everything else, because how it's supposed to look is not how a lot of people in the hobby do look.
Yeah.
problem with the militia is they were good for like 2 rounds.
But it's interesting. I've gotten into the hand sewing techniques, and so I've gotten to the point where all the stitching that's on tape, but the stuff that's inside the sewing machine. So you spend hours doing a seam behind that. So. For me, it's hours. I mean, a real tailor of the day, we can zip through it pretty quickly, but I'm not.
Tip. You have Green and Lafayette with about half of what Cornwall. They basically block him in. He can't come back out. Well, I'm going to go get relieved by the Royal Navy. The one time the French Navy comes through and they defeat the Royal Navy at the Battle of the Capes, they all go back to New York. Now the French have the Capes, you know, the mouth of the Chesapeake Bay in their command. He's trapped, and so he goes to Yorktown anyway. They get into the siege. He realizes it's not working very well, so he decides one.
Carry the better. You don't want to carry more than about 4 pounds. They probably would have preferred wool because probably got the more. I look at this and yeah, yeah. Awesome. So even if you're wet, yeah, you're warm. All right. Thanks for listening. Falling on Chris. All right, militia, let's go. Follow me. But it seems like their uniforms are wearing out. They're getting Halifax point. They're getting maybe the Wilmington.
I'm going to use Jake. He's not going to have white
coats that see them through until the horse fall. I did. Yeah, unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of real big detail, so it's a lot. It's researching every smallest detail and getting some interpretation in there. Yeah, yeah.
There he is.
Is it okay to stand here on the road? It's supposed to come this way.
Okay. All right.
You're doing what men normally would do, throwing the back on the lid. Instinct because
That's it.
they wouldn't come this way though. Men, you know?
That's true. But
They never come this way.
I've seen a skirmish like this before. I bet you 10 to 1 the Patriots would drive them back off the field. Now that's called double charge.
Oh, okay.
Wallace is on. I know. Last they told me they were going to push the Patriots and push them back across the field. It sounded like they were having misfires on the bridge. I think that's the reason why they called it short.
If you enjoyed your stay at Historic Halifax, please seek to become a member of our site support group, Friends of Historic Halifax. Most of our reenactors you'll meet today are volunteers, and they have come from as far away as Maryland and Florida to share with you their love of fishing. Please give an applause for all the volunteers and reenactors who donated their time to make Historic Halifax a good Yorktown.
Three cheers for King George III!
Three cheers for His Excellency George Washington! Hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip!
Can you get it? Can you get it? There's no.
Mr. Me and King George, I'll show you what George Washington did.
Favorite type of what? Lettuce. Oh, so Alfred's what you make? I can do a little smaller pieces with a fork. Stab with a fork. These on the end are just like this.
For a little extra, really lacy.
We'll make a nice bed for all the other things that are going to go in there. I'm going to trade places with you.
Yeah, let me by the fire.
That fire is cooking me.
No, I can handle it.
Just can't handle it. I can't do it.
Really good shape. So what I'm doing is, I'm just now walking, I'm doing some hand weights, I've got to be back into my yoga, but I feel a lot better.
Really good. That lettuce. Good choice on variety of lettuce.
Just move that on over. I let it just drain over there anywhere.
I was
Really.
thinking.
It's still draining a little bit.
Yes.
asparagus on. Mind reader there. Okay. Now let's see. What do you think?
You want to put
Start
the
with the eggs first?
I thought the eggs were the
Last for
one.
me.
So, yes, let's put in the asparagus. That'll be a good base.
Try to make it easy to eat with your fingers. This is a little fancy. Because you want to make little rooms for the other. You got some room.
Hot coffee gemaakt bij. Wat leftover.
The idea is organized. Comfort.
We're showing what it's like to come visit.
Oh, okay. Asparagus
Yeah,
came
the
from
asparagus.
came from a farm close by.
Okay.
Orchard, what's the name of that farm?
Fresh strawberries.
Grove. Where did y'all
It
find
is
this?
Orchard
Grove?
Yeah.
Okay, same farm? Okay.
If you go straight down the road, it says asparagus and strawberries.
And
On
we
the
have
sign.
some celery trees, these are called.
I like
Dress up our salad with some
And,
celery.
and tell us where you got the ham or the story
It's
behind
New
that.
Braunfels, Texas, I ordered that from online, and it was fabulous. It was a fabulous ham, but of course, they would have been smoked locally. They would have been a smokehouse, practically every farm had a smokehouse. Oh, yes.
Here,
Hams
save it
were
over winter.
ubiquitous. Hams and bacons.
Cured meats. They like the cured meats.
They do.
Now, I understand you had the ham hanging in the corner for
Yes,
a
it
while.
was beautiful, hanging up there when we first opened the kitchen. Let's see.
And you got the boiled eggs.
Radishes.
Yes, this is called a Solomon Dundee,
Uh-huh.
and it is basically what we would have as a chef salad today.
Oh, okay. It's a composed salad, a Georgian salad, and they were fussy about how it was supposed to look
Arranged.
nice.
Would they have grown strawberries?
Yes.
They love their
They
strawberries,
did.
actually.
Martha Washington was famous for preserving them whole and serving them like dessert you could eat with a small spoon. Yes, we're not gonna do that.
How
with our
did they
strawberries.
keep the eggs from spoiling? I was just wondering.
Well, Tara told, you know.
Yes. So as long as they're not.
Try to keep plenty of sample pieces around. And from here, we've got a tapered bit that originally was going to be part of a display piece with this. And this was some of the first leaf work that I ever did. And I ended up breaking this one off. But it still serves its purpose as an excellent,
I
right?
like it better. Yeah.
So when you have a theme going between several different pieces, the leaves do end up, playing off of each other. But it gives it a fabulous grip, convenient place to hold things. So whether it's a steak turner, fire poker, all sorts of pieces. And I make all sorts of custom bits and odds and ends if somebody needs it, or even if you just have an idea and you want something, I can make just about anything. That's kind of the purpose of blacksmithing. But I also do a lot of
Did you see the show?
for the hinges, all of the door frame bits. I'm going to end up making locking bars, and anything else that they need around here. I do a lot of reproduction work. I try to do a lot of in-house, having just been refurbished, renovated, and all of these other side buildings put up. I'm hoping to be here a lot. I've been doing could start with a square bar. Most of what I've been doing is starting with a round bar, bring it down to a square taper, and then round off that taper. And now, when you start and it first comes out of the forge and you've got that bright yellow color to it, you end up with what's called a forging heat. And that's when the metal's going to move really well under the hammer. But as it starts to dim, it's still probably 300 to 500 degrees right now, but it's nice and black. And at this point, you've got what's called a planishing heat. You don't really want to be hitting it too hard, but as you go, you get a much more refined, kind of perfected, perfectly round, not to mention a much shinier finish. When people think of a knight in shining armor, you don't actually have, sandpaper, you're not buffing it up, they're not polishing the armor, they're planishing. They've made that armor that shiny with thousands and thousands of hammer blows.
Any questions, feel free to ask.
We're good, so I'm just sort of getting B-roll today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
some footage, thank you though.
So is this going to be posted anywhere in particular?
It'll be on PBS. Tell them about the smoke part.
Oh my gosh, the smoke part, what's that?
Have you ever heard the expression blowing smoke up your butt?
Oh, you almost said the wrong word.
Right. They actually did that as a medical treatment. They would actually take the tobacco and would smoke it, and they would actually take a pipe, a little bit bigger than this one, a little bit longer, and would actually blow smoke up your butt for hemorrhoids and everything.
Oh, wow.
Because the smoke would cause them to shrink.
That's really interesting.
So the expression of blowing smoke up your butt, that's where it comes from.
Interesting. Wow, I never would have dreamed that was it. And this is the little tool?
Well, that's one like it. It would actually have been probably a little longer and a little bigger around.
So are you the apothecary?
No, I am the doctor.
The
surgeon.
doctor, okay.
A little bit of apothecary, a little bit of surgeon.
And tell me what you have here. What
I
is
have
it?
medicines. Of course, a lot of the medicines are based on opium and mercury.
Oh, wow.
And this one is, let's see, I get my bifocals right. Peruvian bark is used for the treatment of malaria and everything, because the bark has a amount of quinine in it. And so when you diffuse it with brandy, and basically what you do is you grind it to a pulp, then put it in a bowl and let it sit for like 3 or 4 days. Then you strain it, and then you use this to treat malaria.
Okay. Now they have ivermectin.
Right.
Which has quinine in it.
Quinine in it, that's right. And then this one's rhubarb. This is to purge you.
Oh, okay.
This nectar of rhubarb will purge you.
For constipation.
Exactly. Or the colic, as they call it.
A colic, okay.
Right. Then this one is opium.
Oh,
Nectar of opium. And
yes, from poppies.
Poppies, and you know what opium is used for, painkiller. It's also used as a way to relax you. It's used for toothaches, headaches at this time, stomach and everything. Nectar of cinnamon.
Oh, cinnamon.
Would work. And also, if we thought that your humors were out of balance, like if you didn't have enough blood in your system, you drink this and it would be like an antiseptic.
Antibiotic.
Yeah, it's like an antibiotic. It just
Bacterial.
kills bacteria. Right.
Cool.
And also, this is all
horses makes you a better human. And it starts to reveal things that you may not be even aware of, because they're a mirror of what you're projecting. If you're approaching them or trying to interact with them with a sense of fear or aggression or anxiety or resentment, it's going to show up, because they're going to mirror back to you what you're projecting. And so it's going to make you have to figure out what's going on. And, it's going to have you have to reconfigure the way in which you approach that animal. You've got to project it to put a saddle on it.
Please stand by. Here we go, and action. Let's do it one more. When you get through it, and you'll open it up and do your thing. Here we go, and action. And open it up. Good enough. Close it. And open it up. Perfect. And anytime. Oh, you got to kick.
Yeah.
I was wondering. And open it up. Roll it out. Oh, you got the rolls, audio, speed, action. Close her up. Close it up. Right, let's do it again.
Okay.
Don't
Yeah,
look
I
at me.
messed that one up.
That's all right. Take two and action. After you close it, walk away. Let's do one more. You're doing great. This is perfect. And action. That's it. That's all I need. Thank you.
All right.
So, show them around, whatever they need to
Print
see.
shop. This is our working printing press. It dates to about 1890. Okay. You want to see me do it? So first I would take the ink and put it on the plates like so. Now I'm not sure how good your print's going to be because I'm not. I bet it's going to do just fine. And then you place the paper. Alright. Close it up. Yeah.
There you go. Keep doing it. And walk away. All right, come on back. We'll do a close. And go. Action. And walk away. Perfect. You got it.
Are the things already in here? Yeah, you should have your rounds in there. Check them in just in case.
All right, who wanted to have a camera right there?
We're rolling.
Rolling?
Thank you.
All right. Invent. Search piece.
So we'll shoot it and then just give me a signal. All right, I'll look at it.
And sponge. Sponge piece. Advanced cartridge. Charge piece.
I don't know if we told you, but I checked down the line. It's clear.
Ram down cartridge.
I think you were good. Yeah.
Right. Fire in the hole! Search piece. Beautiful, thank you. Handle sponge. Sponge piece. Perfect. Stand down for a minute. All right. You want to talk about it? Yeah. All right. How many you want? You want 2 more?
Sides have artillery. So both the British Army has artillery, and also the American militia that was here in Halifax had artillery. The Americans, after they would fight a battle with against the mounted British dragoons and British light infantry and also loyalist forces, they would be pushed across the river where the American rebels had a redoubt, and they had some artillery down there.
Sponge piece.
So it's very important that there's no fire inside the swivel gun before we introduce the cartridge to it.
Charge with cartridge.
They're now putting the cartridge inside the barrel. This is typically would have been a bag filled with a measured amount of black powder in it, as well as whatever projectile you were using.
Ram down cartridge.
Shot or a half-pound iron ball. It's rammed down the muzzle of the gun so it seats at the bottom of the barrel at the breech. And at this point,
prime.
He's now adding priming to the vent. This priming is just loose gunpowder, which will easily ignite when he's ready to fire the swivel gun. And at this point, the swivel gun is loaded and ready to fire.
Fire in the hole! Search piece.
As you mentioned before, he's using what we call a worm, which is using a corkscrew to remove any of that cartridge.
Sponge piece.
Or any burning parts of that cartridge that might still be in the barrel.
Were they good?
Yeah.
Do they deserve another one?
Sure.
Yeah. Would you like to hear it again, folks?
Like a thrill.
Oh darn. I just happen to have another round. 10 vent.
All right, he's covering up
Sponge
the
piece.
vent,
Yeah, go ahead, sponge.
and they take a sponge on the end of that
Advanced
tip,
round.
and that'll get pushed down the muzzle, and that pushes all the air out.
Handle
of the
cartridge.
gun. That creates a environment, basically introducing the new cartridge. Alright, the swivel gun is now loaded. You might have to adjust his lens stock after his
Actually, both of them are burning.
You good, Jim?
Yep, whenever y'all are ready.
Alright, we're ready.
Give me the command.
Make ready! Fire!
Search piece. Or secure piece. Sorry about that. Sponge piece.
Turn it on!
Return implements. Or post on the box. Return implements. Somebody with gloves put me out.
Hey, we're
put a bell on
him. We're just doing a little Photoshop of us shooting up. I'm going to shoot right down here.
How do I look? Am I?
You look awesome, man.
Good, I'm good, I'm good. I'm all squared away.
All right, here we go.
All right.
I'm going to get clean audio,
I'll
please.
give you orders.
Shoulder, your fire lock. What are you doing?
You guys ready?
Go.
Make ready! Hang on, shoulder it, shoulder it. You're doing it wrong.
I told you I didn't
Are
practice.
you at full cock right now?
Yeah, because I thought we were just going to do it.
Here,
We were going to just...
Yeah, that's all I need is
I
a
can,
shot.
Alright, I'm not giving you orders, just shoot the gun.
Hang on a second, hang on a second. I got
Alright.
sun going in and out on me. It's killing me. It's killing me as usual.
If they need another one, we can run through it.
And then I
If you
should use
could.
AJ.
Oh, right here.
Yeah.
No, you're doing good, man.
Just wait a second to the... Hold it again. And whenever you're ready.
I'm sorry, this is remedial, but do you want me to give him orders or you want him to just shoot the gun?
Just shoot the gun.
There you go.
Right, stand by. Put it back down again. All right, you were laughing. Here we go. Anytime. Can you give me one more?
Sure.
That was great. Couldn't have been better. Yeah, I'll get you doing all of that. That's perfect.
Say when?
Anytime. Thank you so much. Couldn't have been better. Thank you.
Went ahead and tracked down the, what is the?
Gulch?
Gulch down there, yeah, nobody down there.
No one down there? Good.
All the way up to the sign at least, I didn't go any further than that.
That's fine. There's not going to be anything
Yeah, just want to make sure.
coming out. Your weapon. Aunque yo me estaba no.
Are the things already in here?
Yeah, you should have your rounds in there. Check them in just in case.
Yep, still.
All right, who wanted to have a camera right there? It's rolling.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, I'm mostly with one person.
To invent. Search piece. Handle sponge. Sponge piece. This should be advanced sponge. Yeah, it is tough. It's tough to get. Advanced cartridge. Charge piece. Ram down cartridge. Prime. Fire in the hole! Search piece. Yeah, thank you. Handle sponge. Sponge piece. Perfect. Stand down for a minute.
All right. You want to talk about it?
Yeah. How many rounds you got?
How many you want? You want to do it?
Yeah, 15 more. And then Carl's got the arrows and thank you from Halifax.
All right. All right.
Cool. How you doing, folks? Welcome to Historic
Yeah, just
Halifax.
grab one more. Yeah, one more quill while you're at it. Stand up here while you do that.
They come up with the primer and lanyard by the War of 1812. They still. We're going to go through the loading process.
All right. Tin vent. Search piece. Handle sponge. Sponge piece.
So it's very important that there's no
Advance round.
fire inside the
Handle
swivel
cartridge.
gun before we introduce a cartridge to it.
Charge with cartridge.
They're now putting the cartridge inside the barrel. This is typically would have been a bag filled with a measured amount of black powder in it, as well as whatever projectile you were using.
Ram down cartridge.
Shot or a half-pound iron ball. It's rammed down the muzzle of the gun so it seats at the bottom of the barrel at the breech. And at this point,
Prime.
he's now adding priming to the vent. This priming is just loose gunpowder.
Or a quill.
Easily ignite when he's ready to fire the swivel gun. And at this point, the swivel gun is loaded and ready to fire.
Fire in the hole! Search piece.
As we mentioned before, he's using what we call a worm, which is a corkscrew.
Yes. Sponge piece. Were they good?
Yeah.
Do they deserve another one?
Sure. Yes. Would you like to hear it again, folks?
Oh darn. I just happen to have another round. Tin vent.
Alright, he's covering up
Sponge
the
piece.
vent,
Yeah, go ahead, sponge.
and they take
You've already toed it,
sponge
yeah.
on the end of that.
Advance round.
And that'll get pushed down the muzzle and all the air out.
Handle cartridge.
That creates
I'm saying this, you don't fit.
basically a vacuum.
Ram down cartridge.
Fire can be burning in that. And that makes the firearm safe for introducing the new cartridge.
Prime. Whoa! Let go. Happens sometimes.
Alright, the swivel gun is now loaded. He might have to adjust his lens stock after his
Actually, both of them are burning.
You good, Jim?
Yep, whenever y'all are ready.
Alright, we're ready.
Give me the command.
Make ready! Fire! search piece or secure piece? Sorry about that. Sponge piece. Turn it on. Done. Very good. Return implements. Or post on the box. Return implements. And somebody with gloves put me out.
Yeah, we all
All right, here we go.
we all met before at the.
Let me set this camera up. Okay.
Yeah.
What about it, Distiller?
Head on back. I got some chores to do. Hey, I've enjoyed it. All right, anytime. I'm only an hour away, so it's like, maybe 4th of July.
Good to see you.
Well, you might have actual fun things to do. I'm shooting cannons before maybe. Okay. Well, you have Labors for Halifax is coming up, and I was just talking to Lynn. Labors. That's all the way in August. Yeah. And we had House in the Horseshoe. Yeah. And I was just talking to Lynn. We need to figure out something else there at NC.
I need clean audio, so I'll wait till they get there. Thank you.
Before about having like 3rd NC drills since they were on the commons. We could do that. It's just like and we need more practice anyway.
I know. I always start thinking about it like a week before. I was like, I really just need to stand in front of a YouTube video and practice. And I never do.
This guy's probably gonna. When I watched that one on the drills of 1764.
Thank you, Smoke.
I'm starting talking.
Thank you, Nick.
Yeah.
Nick, just leave the gun in the cartridge box in my office.
I gave it to
What's his name?
Okay.
Yep.
I'll give him the stuff too.
Thank you.
Yep. Have a good one.
He's coming. We can just wait.
Does he know he's in a line of fire?
Steven. Hey, we're
put a
about
bell on him.
to do a musket. We're just doing a little Photoshop of us shooting here. We're going to shoot right down here.
How do I look? Am I?
You look awesome, man.
Good, I'm good, I'm good. I'm all squared away.
All right, here we go.
All right.
I'm going to get clean audio,
I'll give
please.
you orders. Shoulder, your firelock.
We're doing.
You guys ready?
Go.
Make ready. Hang on, shoulder. You're doing it wrong.
I told you I didn't
Are
practice.
you at full cock right now?
Yeah, because I thought we were just going to do it.
Here,
We were going to just.
Yeah,
I didn't know if we were
all I
going to.
needed.
I can.
alright, I'm not gonna give you orders, just shoot the gun.
Hang on a second. We got sun going in and out. Killing me. Killing me.
If they need another one, we can run through it.
I know, I should use AJ. I was right here. No, you're doing good, man.
Just wait a second till the sun's going to come back up.
You guys making a video or just taking pictures? He's doing a video. Okay, let's do this less sucky. Can I see your gun real quick?
Less sucky?
Yeah.
I like it.
AJ, why don't you come over here and do it?
Okay. What?
Yeah, I'm
You
taking.
steal this from me?
You done messed this up, man.
I didn't mess anything up. You didn't say we were going to run through the.
Open, you could probably. All right, you feeling confident now? You ready to do this?
I can do it.
I can do it so good. Here you go. All right.
You didn't say we were going to run through the drill.
All right. Just go to the shoulder.
All right, I need to see where you're going to point it again.
Down there in the woods.
I'm going to do a separate shot of you. Come on over here.
Okay.
Thank you.
It wouldn't be normal for me to, in a British uniform, to be giving him orders.
I know. So let's not do that.
Yeah.
I just need to show you.
Yeah.
Let me see where you're going to point it, please. Could you lower it a teeny bit? Yep. Adjust. All right, here we go. You can shoulder it again. And whenever you're ready.
I'm sorry, this is remedial, but do you want me to give him orders, or do you want him to just shoot the gun?
Just shoot the gun.
There you go.
Right, stand by. Put it back down again. All right, you were laughing. Here we go. Anytime. Can you give me one more?
Sure.
That was great. Couldn't have been better. Yeah, I'll get you doing all of that. Perfect.
Say when?
Anytime. Thank you so much. Couldn't have been better. Thank you.
Sparked pretty good.
I know it was dorky.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll give you your last.
Oh, thank you.
Your last one back.
Yeah.